Today is February 27, 2026, and if you receive Supplemental Security Income, what most Americans simply call SSI, the next few minutes could literally save you from going broke for an entire month. I am not exaggerating. I am not using clickbait. This is a real documented situation that is happening to thousands of SSI recipients right now, today. And if you do not understand what is going on with your payment, you could find yourself completely without income for 33 straight days. So stop what you are doing, because this information is urgent, it is time sensitive, and it affects you or someone you love right now. Let's get straight into it, because there is a lot to cover and every single minute counts today. The Social Security Administration ordinarily disburses SSI payments on the first day of each month. But when that first day falls on a weekend or federal holiday, the SSA does not delay your payment. They move it forward to the last business day before the first of the month. ORCA. That is a rule that protects you from having to wait, but it is also a rule that confuses millions of people every single time it kicks in. And right now, in February 2026, it is kicking in hard. Here is exactly what happened. March 1st, 2026 falls on a Sunday. Because of the weekend rule, all eligible SSI recipients are receiving their March 2026 payment today, Friday, February 27th, 2026. Say your March money is in your account right now, or it will be by the end of today. That sounds like great news, and in one sense, it is. You are getting your money early. But here is where people go wrong and where the real danger lives. Because February 1st also fell on a Sunday this year, SSI recipients already received their February payment early, back on Friday, January 30th. That means in the month of February 2026, SSI beneficiaries are seeing two separate deposits in their accounts, two payments showing up in one calendar month. And when people see two payments, the natural human reaction is to think something good happened. Maybe the government sent extra money. Maybe there was a back payment. Maybe it is a bonus. It is none of those things. The SSA itself has stated clearly, this does not mean you are receiving a duplicate payment, so you do not need to contact them to report the second payment. Senat Rzeczypospolitej Polskiej, it is simply your March allocation arriving early, every single dollar of it. The deposit you receive on February 27th is strictly your standard March allocation. If you spend it too quickly thinking it is a bonus, you will be left without any SSI funds for the entire month of March. Your next SSI payment after this will not arrive until Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. Say that out loud to yourself. April 1st, that is over a month away from today. If you go out this weekend and spend that February 27th deposit on non-essentials, on things you want but do not absolutely need, on impulse purchases or luxuries, you will have zero SSI income for the entire month of March. Zero. No payment on March 1st, no payment on March 15th, nothing until April 1st, and the SSA will not bail you out with an emergency deposit just because you misunderstood the calendar. This is why understanding the payment schedule is not just helpful information. It is the difference between keeping your lights on in March and sitting in the dark. Now let's be precise about who this affects, because not everyone who receives Social Security is in the same boat. This scheduling adjustment applies specifically to SSI recipients. For all other retirement, SSDI, and survivors benefit recipients who began receiving benefits after May 1997, March 2026, will maintain the traditional payment schedule of 3 consecutive Wednesdays. ZDUBA. So if you receive regular Social Security retirement benefits and your birthday falls between the 1st and the 10th of any month, your March payment arrives on Wednesday, March 11th, nothing changes. If your birthday is between the 11th and 20th, your March payment comes on Wednesday, March 18th. And if your birthday falls between the 21st and 31st, your payment arrives on Wednesday, March 25th. All completely normal, all completely on schedule. For those receiving both SSI and SSDI, known as concurrent benefits, here is your exact timeline. You will receive your SSI payment today, February 27th, and your SSDI payment will arrive on Tuesday, March 3rd, 2026. A March 3rd payment also applies if you live outside the United States, if your state pays your Medicare premiums, or if you filed for Social Security benefits before 1997. So if you fall into any of those categories, you have 2 separate dates to track and plan around. Now, one of the most common questions people ask when this happens is, Do I need to do anything to make my payment arrive? Do I need to call the SSA, update my information, re-enroll, verify my identity, or take any action at all? The shift to February 27th is completely automatic. You do not need to contact the SSA or change your bank details. Same. The system handles this entirely on its own. As long as your direct deposit information is accurate and your account is active, the money will arrive. You do not need to press a button, fill out a form, or make a single phone call. The payment is coming to you. The only thing you need to do is make sure it lands in the right place. And that brings up a genuinely important point. If you recently changed banks, you must update your direct deposit information via your My Social Security account immediately. If the SSA sends the money to a closed account, it could take weeks to reissue the payment. Same weeks, not days. And during those weeks, you are without income, without recourse except to wait, and navigating a bureaucratic process that is not known for its speed. So if you closed an old bank account, switched to a new bank, or changed your Direct Express card in recent months, log in to ssa.gov right now and verify your direct deposit information before this payment processes. What do you do if today comes and goes and you simply do not see your payment? The SSA recommends that beneficiaries who do not receive a payment on their due date first contact their bank or financial institution to see if there was a delay. Rzeczpospolita bank processing times vary. Some financial institutions hold incoming deposits for a few hours or even until the next business day. So before you panic, check with your bank first. If they confirm nothing is incoming, then your next step is to log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and check for any active notices or alerts on your account. If that does not resolve the issue, call the SSA directly at 1-800-772-1213 or contact a local Social Security office, Rzeczpospolita. When you call, document everything. Write down the date and time of your call, the name of the representative you spoke with, any reference numbers they provide, and the exact next steps they outline. You may need that information if you have to escalate further. If a missing payment means you genuinely cannot cover food, medicine, housing, or critical utilities, call the SSA immediately and ask specifically about an emergency payment. Same. There are provisions in place for hardship situations exactly like this. You are not asking for a favor. You are asking the system to do what it is designed to do. Be direct. Be specific. Describe your situation clearly and ask what options are available to you. Now let's widen the lens a little bit because today's unusual payment date does not exist in isolation. It is part of a larger picture of Social Security changes happening right now in 2026 that every beneficiary needs to understand. Maximum benefit amounts have been updated according to the 2.8% cost of living adjustment, the COLA, for 2026. The estimated average monthly payment for a retired worker in 2026 is $2,071, a figure that reflects the reality for most beneficiaries. ZTUBA, that represents a meaningful increase from last year, and it is reflected in every single payment going forward. For SSI recipients specifically, the 2026 COLA has also pushed monthly benefit amounts higher, so the payment hitting your account today is larger than what you were receiving a year ago. But even as benefits increase, there is a shadow hanging over the long-term future of Social Security that you need to be aware of. A recent analysis from the Congressional Budget Office found that one of the two funds the SSA taps into to disperse benefits could run out sooner than expected. In its Budget and Economic Outlook 2026 to 2036 report, the CBO estimated the Old Age and Survivors Insurance Trust Fund will be exhausted by 2032. Rzeczpospolita 2032 is not a distant, abstract number. It is 6 years away. And if Congress does not act before that point, retirees could face automatic benefit cuts of roughly 20 to 25%. Not because the government wants to cut your benefits, but because the math of the trust fund simply stops working without legislative intervention. This is a real issue that is already being debated in Washington, and it is something every Social Security recipient should be following closely. There is also a significant operational change underway at the Social Security Administration itself in 2026. Following recent federal workforce reductions, the SSA is in the process of restructuring how it delivers customer service, shifting away from local, in-person field offices toward a more centralized, technology-driven national system. For many Americans, especially elderly beneficiaries who have relied on walking into a local office and speaking to a human being face-to-face, this is a significant adjustment. If you are not comfortable with online systems, now is the time to get help from a family member, a trusted caregiver, or a local nonprofit to set up your My Social Security account online, learn how to navigate it, and make sure all your information is current before you ever need it in a crisis. So let's bring this all together into a clear, practical action plan, because information is only useful if you act on it. The first thing to do right now, today, is check your account. Log into your bank account or your Direct Express card and confirm whether today's deposit has arrived. If it has, protect it. That money is your entire March budget. Treat it that way starting this moment. The second thing is to build a written budget for the next 5 weeks. Sit down and list every expense you have between now and April 1st. Rent, utilities, groceries, prescriptions, transportation, phone, every single dollar that needs to go out the door. Then look at what today's deposit gives you and make sure the math works. If it does not, identify now what can be postponed, reduced, or eliminated. This is not about sacrifice for sacrifice's sake. It is about making sure you have what you need for the entire month of March. Third, mark your calendar. Your next SSI payment after today will arrive on Wednesday, April 1st, 2026. Do write that date down somewhere you will see it. Add it to your phone. Tell a family member, whatever it takes to make sure you do not lose track of when your income is actually coming. Fourth, verify your SSA information. Log into ssa.gov and confirm your direct deposit details, your mailing address, and your contact information are all current and accurate. This takes less than 10 minutes and could save you weeks of stress if something goes wrong. And fifth, please share this information. If you have a parent, grandparent, neighbor, or friend who receives SSI and may not have seen this video, share it with them today. The people who are most vulnerable to misunderstanding this payment schedule are often the least connected to online news, the least likely to have a My Social Security account, and the most financially fragile. A simple conversation, a shared video, a phone call, any of those things could prevent a genuine financial crisis for someone you care about. The bottom line is simple but critically important. The money that hit your account today is your March payment. It is not a gift. It is not a bonus. It is not extra. It is your regular monthly income arriving early because of a calendar rule, and it has to last you until April 1st. Spend it like it has to last 5 weeks, because it absolutely does. Social Security is the financial foundation for more than 70 million Americans. Understanding how and when it works, especially during unusual months like this one, is not optional. It is essential, and now you know exactly what is happening, why it is happening, and precisely what to do about it. If this video gave you clarity and peace of mind today, hit that like button right now, because that single tap tells YouTube's algorithm that this information is important and helps push it out to the millions of SSI recipients across this country who still do not know what is happening with their payment today. Share it with your family group, your community Facebook page, your church group, your neighbors, anyone who needs to hear it. Subscribe so you never miss another critical update like this one. And drop a comment below telling us, did you already know about the February 27th payment date, or did this video catch you completely off guard? We want to know. We will see you in the next one.